Hello students, Mix There here. We are going to be talking about changing temperatures today. Here are some detailed information about your learning goals. Feel free to pause this if you would like to read those details. Here are your detailed standards and what we are building towards. Feel free to pause if you would like to read this. Let's get your journal pages all set up. Please pause this page. Make sure you have your note strip glued in. You have your title, standard, and learning targets, as well as your date. In our last lesson, Miss Saylor talked about how one of the places where we commonly see negative numbers used in our everyday lives is when we're talking about temperature. And on this slide, we're going to talk about specifically how to find temperature change. So right here, you're going to see a graph, and this shows our normal body temperatures when we are sleeping versus when we are awake and active. And we can take this information and put it on a number line. And our number line might look something like this, where we're going to have our coldest temperatures over to the left. So here, we're going to start, let's start at 97. And then as we move to the right, our temperatures get warmer. So there's 98, there's 99 degrees. And now let's put our starting temperature down. Our starting temperature would be right around in here somewhere. I'm going to call that 97.1. And I'll put that on my number line about right here. There's 97.1. And then we want our ending temperature. Call around right there, and I'm going to just call that 98.4. That's close enough. It's around 98.4. And so to find the change in temperature or the difference between temperatures, so we are looking for this space in there. We need to look at our ending. So our end temp minus our starting temp and then that will give us our change. So using this example, we would say that our ending temperature was 98.4 degrees minus our starting temperature, which was 97.1 degrees. And so we know that the difference between these temperatures, or the overall change in temperature, was around 1.3 degrees. Let's take a look at adding signed numbers on a number line. Again, signed numbers being our positive and negative numbers. So in our first example, we are going to add using a number line. We're going to add a positive 5 plus a negative 7. When we are adding on our number line, our first term, which is the first number you see, is going to always start at 0. So since our first term is positive 5, we're going to move from 0 to the right 5. Positive numbers move to the right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Our second term, which is going to be the second number you see, is going to pick up where that first term landed and move from there. Since our first term landed at 5 and our second term is negative 7, we are going to move from 5, 7 units to the left because it is a negative number. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 units to the left, which lands us at our solution, or the sum, negative 2. So the sum of 5 plus negative 7 is negative 2. Let's take a look at another example. In this example, we are looking at negative 2 plus 6. So again, our first term, which is negative 2, is the one that's going to start at 0. And since it is a negative number, we will be moving to the left. So negative 2 is going to start at 0 and move to the left 2 units. That second term, which is a positive 6, is going to pick up where the first left off, and positive 6 will move us to the right. So we're going to start at negative 2, and we will move to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 units, which lands us at positive 4. So the sum of negative 2 plus 6 is 4. We can use addition equations to represent temperature increase or decrease as well. So you think of an addition equation saying, kind of like saying, so I have this one thing and I'm also going to have another thing. We are adding things together. We can think of temperature in a similar way. Like you could say, well, I had a temperature of about 70 degrees and then I added to that temperature by 4, or I added to that temperature by negative 4. We would add a positive temperature if it was getting warmer. We would add a negative temperature if it was getting cooler. And we can put those on the number lines as well. We have a thermometer, like this example right here, is actually just like a vertical number line. You can see this would be your number line right there. You can imagine arrows on the end, and you can see that the cooler numbers are down at the bottom and the warmer numbers are up top. But we can also just turn that horizontally. Let's look at an example where we are saying that on Friday, the temperature was 82 degrees. That temperature changed by negative 2 on Saturday. So we'd say that we added negative 2 on Saturday. And then it changed again by 5 degrees on Sunday. So then we added 5 degrees on Sunday. What was the temperature on Sunday and how did that temperature change? Let's put it on a number line. So if we have this number line here, we might say that our starting point here was 82 degrees. We have a point at 82 degrees. So we had 82, and then we added negative 2 degrees, which means that we might go from 82 to 80. There was adding negative 2. And then we added 5 more degrees. Let me actually put that in green. 5 more degrees. So then we went from 80 to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We added 5 degrees. So our landing point was 85 degrees in total. So 82 plus negative 2 plus 5 all equals 85. So now it is your turn to try things. So the first thing you're going to do is write an equation that is represented by this number line. Go ahead and pause, write this down in your journal, and when you unpause, I will show you the answer. There it is. We have negative 2 plus negative 4, starting at 0, moving to negative 2, then adding another negative 4, so starting at negative 2 and moving 1, 2, 3, 4 more to the left, landing at negative 6. Next up, you're going to try to write out an arrow model on a number line to represent the expression 5 plus negative 8. Also record down the final sum. Go ahead and pause, work on your number lines, and then write down that final sum. When you unpause, I will show you the answer. All right, there is your answer. Started at 5. So starting at 0, we would move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the right, adding that negative 8. Starting where that 5 picked up, we would move 8 to the left, landing us at the solution, negative 3. Your next steps, it's your turn to practice. So go ahead and look on your pacing tracker, find the code for your journal problems, and work on those practice problems. Thanks, y'all.